What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back to Iraq because a couple things going on. There's a lot of good stuff on the inside of Iraq. There's some questionable stuff on the outside. We will get into that. Right now is a great time to buy gold and silver. I'm telling you, season's coming up. But not just that. We're trying to get ready to launch the gold back yuan. And they're planning on doing it in the next couple of months. That's going to put everybody into the gold standard. That's what we're waiting for. I am ready. I don't know about you. But when you go to buy your gold, go to moneymetals.com. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. And you guys know I have this alternative website. It continues to grow, and I appreciate all the support. All right, so come on over there. It's $3 for the whole month. So these are the types of things that, you start looking out for. Of course, this just makes sense. Okay, I know it says from the middle of the month, but the point is, in the Middle East, Taliban victory seen as a lesson in waning U.S. support. No, this is more as a lesson in the current leadership. You see, under the last administration, we didn't have these problems. It was not cool to be a terrorist. They woke up dead. So, all of a sudden we got Taliban back in Afghanistan. We need to keep an eye on and make sure they stay over there and don't go anywhere else, mind their own business. But it has emboldened other terrorist groups, feeling really happy that their brothers had taken over a country, and they're sitting around with $85 trillion. Is that right? Trillion? 85 billion. $85 billion. It's most likely trillion. Sheesh, who knows? $85 billion worth of equipment, including Black Hawk helicopters. Now they have as many helicopters. He's got more helicopters than 85% of the countries. So what do you think is going to happen once these people start learning how to fly helicopters? You see somebody's going out there to teach them. Yep, they're in training right now. And who the heck could that be, I wonder? What are the odds of all this stuff always happening under the Biden administration? Come on now. You could jump up and down and say, oh, it's ever. Nope, not bad Orange Man's fault this time. He was killing terrorists. And then everybody was like, why are you killing that religious man? Come on now. Anyways, Black Hawk helicopter over Kandahar. You got to love this. You want to talk about showing the rest of the world don't ever trust the Americans again? Nothing, and I mean nothing, says that. Like having a body hanging from one of the Black Hawk helicopters. Yeah, there you go. That guy was an American translator. He was a translator for American forces. And they found him and they caught him, and then all of a sudden now the media is trying to spin it. Of course they are. They're trying to protect the Biden administration. Now is a huge call for his impeachment. Do you really want Kamala Harris running things? Because she'll bring in Hillary Clinton as her VP, and how long before she gets Arkansas? I'm talking about Kamala. Then we got the evil witch up in there. Ugh, just a thought. Very interesting. Also, quote, we had a lieutenant general went ahead and resigned immediately over what happened in Afghanistan. And on his way out the door, he said he was fed up and tired of the way things are going and thinks something should be done about it. And said if anybody wanted to join him, do so. What the heck do you suppose he's talking about? I don't know, but that was pretty freaky to hear him say. So, again, you show this, the whole world sees this right now. This translators, what do you think that does for anybody trusting Americans again? Thank you, old Biden. Yeah, exactly. Let's get into the good news now that all the sour stuff is out of the way. Iraq announces an agreement to pump 400,000 barrels per day starting next October. We'll take that. 400,000 barrels. Only 400,000? Because I think they were up to like 1.6 million. Is it only 400,000? Wow, you want to talk about driving the price up on oil if they actually reduce that. It didn't say increase. Did it say increase? An agreement to pump, I don't know. Interesting. So anyway, starting in October, it looks like Iraq has agreed to start pumping 400,000 barrels per day. Okay, that's a huge decrease. Yep, look at here. The Ministry of Oil added that the agreements to reduce production and pump deliberate, gradual increases to the oil market have led to containing the chaos. What chaos is being caused? Oh, you know what it is? This is how you know they're planning another shutdown right here. So they're just preparing themselves, it looks like, for a another shutdown. That's what it is. Now, they're going to say, oh, we agreed to a cut. But, they don't want to get caught off guard being so reliant on oil. More private sectors are being open anyways. This just looks suspicious as heck if you ask me. Anyway, so they're going to agree to reduce the oil down to 400,000 a day from 1.6 million. Man, that's a huge cut. Yeah. Anyways, I know they have planned on reducing the oil production. That's going to cause the prices to go up unless they put everybody on shutdown again. That looks like that's where we're heading. So it won't be a whole lot of people out there driving, if you get my drift. It says the Ministry of Oil expressed his hope for the stability of the oil market. What do you mean? It's been stable. It's been stably going up. So let's show you all the good things that continue to happen in Iraq. So Iraq has moved on the stage of economic cooperations and partnerships. Yep, they continue to build more relationships, reach out to more countries, start doing business with more countries. Man, this is going to be, once we get out of this Rona craft, this is going to be one of the, probably the biggest, second biggest, largest economy to boom if they continue at this pace. So you can see right here, they had discussions with his Austrian counterpart. Same thing they met about. What do they talk about? Cooperations and partnerships in the ways that can help serve the security and stability in Iraq and trade and everything else, and do away with their disagreements that they had in the past. So it's pretty much the same thing with all the other countries. Right now, Iraq looks like the great place to be invested in. Thank God I got some Iraqi stock. And this sucker should go up as long as they don't crush it under another corona shutdown. Iraq's foreign policy is based on the balance of its relations with all external governments, and Iraq was able to establish that platform and tools for dialogue. And Baghdad has turned into a center for communications of positive interaction. Positive interaction. We like the way that sounds. The government is making all efforts to develop the economy and multiply financial resources through, revitalizing the agriculture industry and tourism section. I love this. Again, they're working more on the private sector. The more they can develop it, you hear me say this all the time, the less they can rely on oil, the better. The more they can develop the private sectors, the better. Less people on government aid, more people paying taxes. The economy gets stronger. It affects the Iraqi dinar. So very good news there. The Kurdistan government announces a number of decisions and agrees with Baghdad to receive 1 million liters of gasoline per day. To receive? Okay. So anyway, it says that Adele, for whatever reason, is over there in the press conference. I don't know if it's a singer or not. Just kidding. Today's meeting shed light on Macron's visit. Macron. Describing it as historical or hysterical, one of the two. My guess is that Macron is going to be one of the European Union or the New World Order, because they break down the sections of the map of around the world are broken in, I believe, six sections. Try saying that 10 times real quick. Drunk. Anyways, so 6 sections, and each section will have it's going to be a bureaucrat, a non-voted on person, and they all will run things from a center. And so each of these countries will all belong to a union, European Union, North, South, Central Union, the whole 9 yards, Middle East Union, whatever the hell they're going to call it. So they're running these like a corporation. That's what's going on. You can see now as people are going to start working together and make that happen. All these governments agree to do that one time. Now you're going to see Iraq is now dealing with the European Union, and the language that they use when they're talking in these particular articles is the same language being used by the Great Reset. That's right, the World Financial or World Economic Forum. This session witnessed the adoption of a group of decisions in interest of the citizens and a cabinet office assigned to the need to speed up the implementation of their decisions. The agreement in Baghdad that the region receives 1 million liters of gasoline per day. That's a lot of gas. Go on, send it over. Anyways, it's just more agreements between Kurdistan as well as Baghdad, and the guys sitting down and getting together to prepare the rest of the 2022 budget. This looks good. The stability of the dollar price with the closure of the Baghdad markets. So we know that our dollar is getting ready to go to crap. It was set up that way. They purposely wanted to crash the dollar. And that's what they're going to do. Once China comes out with their go back digital yuan, it's over. They're going to force everybody into the gold standard, but they're also going to force everybody onto digital currencies. Yes, that they can control. No, that's why you need gold or silver, something outside the system. I sure the heck wish these people would do something over there with these Iraqi dinars so I could turn around and trade it in real quick and buy more gold and silver. So exchange rate, so it's getting better. It dropped back down again, so you can get 1,467 dinars for $1. So looking good. I was gonna make a comment about that. So as the U.S. dollar loses purchasing power and we move away from being the world's reserve dollar, man, that's gonna dink the U.S. dollar's power by 40-60%. You're gonna see a drop in value. We're already dealing with inflation. That's gonna crush it. They really want to crush us over here, man. They have people on the inside of our government helping make this happen. They really are gonna crush this thing, man. It's been artificially pumped. They move us off the reserve dollar status, crash our economy at the same time, and then we got these idiots trying to run a government in charge. Good Lord, they put a senile man up there and we're feeling like everything is good. I don't think so. But look at this. Talk about other nations having the same problem. See, they're all trying to put in their politicians to help agree and push legislation that will push their country into the socialist agreement. The government announces that it was thwarted an attempt to rig the elections. Woo! What did they do? Remove the Dominion machines? What happened? The office of the Prime Minister, Al-Qademi, said he had an operation going and it thwarted the attempt to rig the election by putting pressure on a number of commission employees. Okay, so it goes on to say that, there's a company calling themselves the Green Lady. They were claiming to be in ties with the Prime Minister, and they were trying to help people with elections, but they weren't. It's like them. They're probably going around doing what do you call that? Ballot harvesting for them, and then putting out there in a box for people to go ahead and send in their all their paper claims. So saying, "Oh, look, it's the coronavirus." It's forcing them to do that. Don't do it. Oh, they're using Dominion machines. What? Don't do it. Anyway, so look, they found a group of people, and here's the funny thing, because they busted people in the media too, which is good. It says, unfortunately, some media outlets, particularly those affiliated with some political forces, repeated these false slanders without scrutiny in a manner that lacks professionalism and fairness and in what is a blatant violation of the law of professional principles. What? We get that here every day. I don't know why they're surprised. It's starting to spread everywhere. That's exactly what these rich people did. They put all the people in the right powerful positions, and they're just doing what they need to do to slander people through their controlled media. Yeah, not good. So anyways, the funny thing is you go down here, it says that Al-Qademi made it up and that he's just doing this and slandering him to derail the election. So it goes back and forth. See, guys, we're not the only one who has those issues here. The only difference between our country and their country is, well, their leader is a blind, mindless idiot. So, not bad. 3 decades after the invasion, Iraq is close to turning the page on Kuwait's compensation. We know they're down to about the last payment, and I do believe this is their last payment because it says in here, they will be good and finished by next year. Yay! Some of the things are holding them back, making sure they pay off the debt. This will be done by next year. We love it. We want to see it. Get it done. Get it over with. That's it. There will be no more debt to Kuwait. They should be done. See, right here. Deduction of 3% of the barrels exported abroad as compensation for Kuwait war will end next year. Yay. The remaining amount is not more than $1 billion. Well, hell, they probably got that in their back pocket. So anyways, yeah, look, this is good. That's one of the things we needed for them to finish and get it over with. Planning announcements, a package of new laws to support the private sector. Yep, that's just another good one. So anyways, a bunch of new laws are being implemented, I'm sure, because it supports most likely the reform papers, and doing what they can to develop more money. I mean, develop more money. Yeah, pretty much it is. To get more money for private sectors, to start building up the private sectors. So, yeah, again, you guys, there's a lot of good news coming out of Iraq. What I don't like is what Turkey's doing, Iran is doing, and what's going on in Afghanistan, right on the outskirts of everything. As long as they stay out of the way and don't mess with Iraq, I think we'll be just fine. It's looking really good. A lot of countries coming in. A lot of people want to do business. Right now, Iraq is a good place to go, in my opinion, unless you're white, Christian, gay person. Then you don't want to go there. The importance requiring providing more support for this sector and through the laws that is being prepared based on the visions and proposals presented to the concerned representatives of the private sector itself. So they're finding ways to fund the private sector. This is good. We know we had a surplus this year. This is a lot of good news. I'm feeling really happy about that. Matthew Toller gives them a date for us to withdraw out of Iraq. Go ahead and announce it to the world. But we're coming out of there on December 31st, 2021. Is that what it is? Yep. We will be fully out of Iraq. And we see what happens. Hopefully they got their big boy 20s on. Take off those training wheels. Kick that bad boy into gear by themselves. And let's hope they don't run like what happened in Afghanistan. So Al-Hakim announces a new electoral alliance. There's always these things called movements. I notice there's always all kinds of those. But anyway, it says, do not leave Iraq alone. This is him speaking to the youth. And do not allow others to occupy your place in responsibility. We need a social and political contract that enables Iraqis to build the state it chose, the government it chose. See this right here? This is the language of the World Economic Forum. That's how they talk. We need a political and social contract with people. So every time I see that, I just go, bleh. Disrupted consensus and the corruption of suspicious deals have hindered efforts to reform the political system. Yeah, that's always been like that. Hopefully that changes. I doubt it. Iraq is no longer the gateway for others to enter without permission, nor is it the land without sovereignty. I love to hear it. Representatives to force of moderation, centrists, and adherence to citizenship, which rejects extremism, racism, and closure, but rather representatives of the forces open to all components and form the link between them. So we're going to see. I told you with these elections starting to kick back in all around these other world leaders. There's a lot of so-called populist leaders in there that are suffering through a lot of the same thing that 45 went through here. I've been watching it. I told you I watch news from around the world. I don't like what I see, but if people don't want to stand up and stop it, I don't know what's going to happen. They'll just keep using the coronavirus as an excuse to rig all these elections. They'll use the coronavirus as an excuse to crush you down. They'll use the coronavirus as an excuse to force you on to central bank digital currency, then outlawing money. That's what they do. You don't want no part of it. So there's a lot of things going on that's positive. There's a lot of development, a lot of growth. I don't like the wording. There's no issues in there. There's no civil unrest outside of the fact that some people were caught getting ready to try to rig this election. Let's hope it goes fair for reals. Oil is going to be reduced. That's a lot of oil to be reducing. So, they must anticipate that's going to go up in value. I would think so. Think supply and demand. That, or they're definitely planning for another shutdown. Anyways, you guys, I just couldn't help it. But I remember back before I told you Biden would get in, that we would have all these kinds of issues. And lo and behold, I'm like the prophet. Anyways, if these guys could just keep staying out of trouble, keep doing what they're doing, continue to grow the country, keep it secure, we should be looking pretty good. And what I mean pretty good is, again, all these things are major contributors to the value of the Iraqi dinar. If you want people to have faith in it, then they pay attention. The faith in your dollar is based on what they see happening in your country. So if you can show them security, if you can show them stability, more jobs in the private sector, less reliant on oil, outside investors coming in, you can see an increase in that currency without a problem. I would love to see it. That means a higher value for the Iraqi dinar. That's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. I'm out.